Hey everybody, Jeremy here with another episode of Daily Marketing. Today we are continuing on with our Facebook and Instagram ads epic, and we are going to go through the Facebook leads type campaign. And so the leads type campaign is an interesting one, one that I see a lot of B2B marketers use, but it's actually really valuable for B2C marketers as well, and we'll kind of get into that in a little bit, but basically what makes this campaign different is that you can collect lead generation information from a number of people without them having to leave Facebook. So it's entirely encapsulated their lead form inside of Facebook. You can load it up with a ton of information, and you can get people to basically a handful of clicks opt in to give you their information. And so we're going to run through that real quick, and I'll kind of show you how it works. And I'll give some kind of pro tips along the way of some interesting ways to use it for the obvious like B2B generation sort of ways, lead generation sort of ways. But then, we'll also get into some like cool B2C applications I've seen as well. So we're in our ad account right now. We are going to create a new ad, and I'm going to go here, center column, lead generation ads, right? And so you collect lead information from people interested in your business. We're going to continue. This is, so first off, you have to view and accept Facebook's terms of service when it comes to leads ads, right? So there's going to be a number of things here, but you're responsible for ensuring that each lead, is submitted with your company. You have to have different disclosures to Facebook users. You can only use the lead data in certain ways, right? Basically, don't be a jerk with the information that people give you, right? And so, we're going to do that. This is an interesting option and kind of a newer one, actually. Use a catalog product set to fill your ad creative, so you can kind of dynamically generate lead forms, which is interesting. To be sure. So I'm just going to kind of set up, this is our usual kind of, we have a pretty defined audience for Tanks That Get Around, which is the account that I'm using right now. Tanks That Get Around, really awesome, really fantastic folks. Check out their shirts, very funny stuff. So I'm just going to go with kind of our usual targeting here. So frequent international travelers, right? And we're going to narrow our audience to engaged shoppers, which is always good. And that's 18 to 35-year-old women. That's the audience estimator is messing up. The one thing that I should say, and well, maybe not, but I'm going to say it anyways. The audience estimator, I haven't used that in years. Honestly, it hasn't been accurate in a number of years. Don't worry too much about it. Run your ad and see. With something like this isn't a terribly narrowed campaign, right? There's no way that it's going to be less than 1,000 people that are international travelers, engaged shoppers, women 18 to 35 in the United States. So just use your common sense when it comes to that. I'm going to edit placements. As you can notice, there is a number of less options where you can actually run leads ads. So not every option accommodates every sort of ad. It's good to know for folks. So otherwise, you get charged on impressions. We're optimizing for leads. So we're going to show our ads to the right sort of people to help us get the most leads. We're going to continue. So really the action when it comes to a lead, kind of a lead ad, is in the ad creative. And so the ad creative is, we've got, I'll show you kind of. So you have your standard ad creative up here, right? This is, I'm going to go through, I'm going to do a single video. I'll browse our library. We'll reuse the video that we used the other day. We'll just use some like kind of should be a single female or a solo female traveler. And this video, for those that didn't see the last episode, is a video that was made to kind of promote solo female travel, which is great. So, various tanks for your travels, right? And so display link, tanks at getaround.com, right? And so all of this is looking super standard so far, right? And I want you to kind of see this though, and as we scroll down, this is where the difference is, right? This is 100% it. So you're going to create your lead form here, and there's a lot of flexibility in this, and this is kind of really important to make sure that this is going to be like a highly converting lead form. So they have some different form types. So when it comes to content, you do more volume, so it's easier to fill out, or higher intent. Add a review step that makes people confirm their info. A lot of people get a mixed bag when it comes to Facebook leads ads, right? And I've heard a lot of people say that they don't like the quality that they get. I've heard other people say that they do like the quality. It's going to be different for every niche, for every business. I think that, in general, you're going to get a lot of tire kickers with kind of white papers and things like that anyways across all industries, but particularly in B2B where it's something kind of like, marketing or whatever, where there's a lot of volume. So, choose what makes sense for you. I think that I'm looking at this in the kind of context of tanks that get around. What I want to do is collect leads in order to kind of build our kind of email list, right? So that we can announce new shirts. And so for us, more volume makes sense, right? Because I'm really just after consumer emails in this sort of scenario. And so, we'll kind of go through intro. And then you can see an article that I was passionate about there. So we will, what we'll say is, what works really well is, enter to win chance to design, to have a tank designed after you, right? And so what we'll do is we can say so one thing that works, so B2B, I should take a step back. B2B works well with kind of your traditional sort of things, sign up to receive our email series, right? Sign up to download our white paper, sign up to get a free consultation. Usually that doesn't work top of funnel, but you get the kind of idea, right? It's your standard B2B, download the white paper, download the industry report, right? They're trading their contact info for a valuable piece of information that you're providing. B2C lead ads work as well, right? And it's a little counterintuitive, but what you want to think about is more, you need to get a benefit, right? So now I'm saying, and I want this benefit always to be something that pertains to the actual customer, right? So I see a lot of people give away gift cards or cash or something like that. That's not the people we want, because a lot of people will fill it out. They don't care what the product's for. If they're going to get a gift card, they'll just talk to you, right? Anyways. And so, I've changed my mind on this recently. As I used to say, do gift cards, and now I'm saying don't, because I've seen the kind of the other side of it, and the grass is much greener. So what you want to do is you want to pair up the reward that you're giving, with you want to pair up the reward that you're giving away with kind of something that's relevant to your audience. So the only people that are going to opt into your lead ads are people that want both the product and want the prize, right? So what we're going to do for tanks to get around is we're going to go and say, have a tank designed after you. So somebody that's like all in on the designs, right? And so I'll say, I'll elaborate in the paragraph. I'll say, tanks that get around is always looking for some more amazing ideas on where to base our funny tank designs off of. Enter for the chance to have our designer work with you to create a tank that memorializes your favorite travel spot. Bonus points will donate 20% of profits to the charity of your choice, and the shirt will be named after you. Right? So this is kind of an interesting offer for somebody, right? So if they're interested in kind of our tanks, and this isn't something I would, start necessarily top of funnel. I would say, maybe run an engagement ad and then retarget people that engaged or people that watched our videos, something like that, right? And what I would do is I would target that to them. So I'd say, okay, these people are kind of engaging with our shirts. They think it's kind of a cool concept, and this is something that gets them even more involved, gets them more bought in, and then also kind of comes up with a new design for us. And on top of all of that, we get like a bunch of customer contact info for the launch and for future launches, right? And so that's what we'd use that for. So questions, you can do a lot with questions. So usually just email and name is sufficient for a B2C campaign like this. But that said, you can do, sign for your chance to win, right? You want to highlight that. You can do that for a number of you can add a number of custom questions. So you can do short answer, multiple choice, conditional, and appointment scheduling. So, appointment scheduling looks like that. If you want to actually schedule, schedule a free strategy session or something like that, right? I'm going to delete that question, but a conditional is so you can have conditional answers and upload those as a CSV. So, they've got a sample file here. You can download that and learn how to format the CSV, but basically, you can do, if yes, then ask this question. If no, then ask this question, right? And create an actual tree there. Short answer, pretty self-explanatory. And then multiple choice, also self-explanatory, right? Privacy policy, you have to link to your privacy policy on your actual website. If you don't have one, you need to have one. Do it. You can also do some kind of custom disclaimers. So if you're in specific industries like pharmaceuticals or, law or something like that, right? And if you're a lawyer, you maybe want to say, none of this constitutes legal advice, nor does it establish an attorney-client relationship, et cetera, all of the things that they get really excited about, because they just want to make sure that people understand things, and then also go figure a bunch of lawyers want to cover themselves legally. So after that, you can say, you can add a button, right, to download, view the website, button text, website link, that sort of thing. You can do a quick description, say, this contest is going to, your info's been, I would just say you're all set. Our drawing will occur on, let's say, November 15th. We'll let you know either way if you're our grand prize winner or not. One other pro tip when it comes to these things, what you want to do when you do a contest like this for B2C is everyone wins, right? But the win is, the one person actually wins, right? Everybody else gets like a 10% discount coupon code, whatever, for your new product, right? So definitely want to make sure to give a little something to everyone. So yeah, but that's basically how you do it. I could run through the higher intent form, and this is the review screen, and all that'll say is, it gives people a chance to review it. They would say, just review your info and then slide to submit, right? So basically, just a double opt in to make sure they know what they're doing. It can, in theory, increase the hit rate from your lead form ads. So test that. I always encourage people to A/B test these sort of things, and this is a perfect example of something you should A/B test, right? You can run them literally against each other to the same audience. And yes, I'm advocating, as long as your audience is large enough, a couple 100,000, you shouldn't really run into issues with competing against yourself or substantively increasing your advertising price by competing with yourself. But yeah, so that's about it. That's how lead form ads work. And there's some interesting things too you can do. I oftentimes will connect the lead forms with Zapier and then automatically dump them into like MailChimp or something like that and start an email sequence, which is crazy useful. And so Facebook, I believe, does, when you sign up for these, does a free trial of Zapier as included for setting up kind of lead form ads, or Zapier includes it with Facebook, or however you want to say it. But there's certainly usually a free trial that I've taken advantage of a number of times in the past, on behalf of clients. But it's super useful. Yeah. And like I said, you can add kind of as many questions as you want in. And this is a great tool just for a number of people, whether you're a local services business or you're, looking to kind of run a B2C contest or something like that, right? Or finally, if you want to, if you're a B2B business, you want people in your target market to download your white paper, this is useful as well. So take a look at it. If lead forms are right for you, definitely, set one up and let me know how it goes. Always excited to see how these things work out for folks. Thank you again, everybody. Happy marketing and have a wonderful day.